In this video, we will study about cloud computing service delivery models, one of the very important concepts in cloud computing, right. So, we have three different service delivery models. Mainly we have three, but there are so many other types of service delivery models, but the standard cloud service delivery models we have three. What are these delivery models? Actually, in the cloud architecture, if you see, we from the cloud provider side, cloud provider, right? Cloud providers are providing us some of the services, right? So they provide us three different types of services. One is infrastructure as a service, second platform as a service, third is software as a service. Okay, so it means in the lab, when you are opening AWS or Azure, you are seeing lot of services there. Among them, some of them are software as a service, some are platform, and some are infrastructure as a service, right. So depending on the need, we can choose any of these services. Okay, so these are all basically the computing services which the cloud providers give us to use, right. Basically, the services what they are providing to us, they are of three different types: infrastructure, platform, and software. Okay, so let's understand what is this infrastructure as a service. It's a cloud computing model in which virtualized computing resources such as server, storage, and networking are provided over the internet on rental basis. It means one kind of service is infrastructure. All the infrastructure such as RAM, network, storage, right, everything is provided for the rental. It means you want only infrastructure. OS you will install, softwares you will install, everything you will do. You just want the infrastructure, right. If you want that kind of service, that also is provided by the cloud. The best example of IaaS is the our virtual machines, VM, right, because virtual machine is created, OS we are taking care of, data we are loading, the application softwares we are installing, everything we are doing. Only we are getting the hardware for rent. Okay, only we are getting the infrastructure for the rental basis, right. So all the computing resources like the server, storage, networking, RAM, everything is provided over the internet. You remember this point, over the internet they are giving us this service on rental basis. So the cloud provider manages the physical infrastructure while users control the operating system, applications, and the data. So only the physical infrastructure will be given to you, in which operating system to use, which software to use, all that we have to take care of. That is infrastructure as a service. In more simpler terms, if I explain what is this infrastructure as a service, for example, you are constructing a toy, you are constructing a car, let's say you are building a car, right. So the wheels, the body parts, the tools to fit them, the engine, right, these things are given to you. Only the hardware part, the four wheels are given to you, engine is given to you, body parts are given to you, and some tools are given to you, right. So this is only given to you. Your job is to assemble everything and make a car. Okay, so in the same way, only the storage, network, virtual machine, everything will be given to us, right. OS, software applications, everything we have to take care of, right. So this is infrastructure as a service. So it means you get only the hardware, rest all we have to manage. What are the advantages of that? You need not buy physical hardware. You don't have hardware, you can go and get the infrastructure as a service on rent, right. You need not go and purchase the physical hardware. Flexible hosting, suitable for websites and applications. Reduced maintenance, right. Provider takes care of the data center and the hardware. You need not worry about the hardware. Provider will take care of that. You can demand as much as you want, as much of storage you want, you can keep asking it. He will charge you, but services will be taken care by the provider, right. It is also scalable because resources can be increased or decreased as on when you need, right. One of the best services what we have, but there are some drawbacks also. Security responsibility. See, they are giving only the physical infrastructure to you. You are installing the OS, you are installing the application, right, but there is no guarantee of security. We have to take care of the security of our applications and our data. Okay, we cannot trust the provider, right? And the limited infrastructure control. You don't have control over the infrastructure. You don't have control, right? Fully it is managed by the provider. You want to do some changes in that infrastructure, you cannot. That is the drawback of that. Some examples of IaaS are AWS, Azure, GCP, right? Exactly speaking, some example are Google Compute Engine. We have something called Google Compute Engine. It's an example of infrastructure as a service. And Microsoft Azure virtual machines. Microsoft Azure has virtual machines. So this is also an example of infrastructure as a service. So what are the key components of IaaS? Compute things, that is virtual machine, server, CPU, RAM, etc. Storage related things, right? And networking related things like firewall, load balancers, everything. So all these can be given on rental basis. Only these things will be given, remaining all we have to take care of. That is one type of service delivery model in cloud computing. The second one is platform as a service. Platform as a service. It's a cloud model that provides developers with ready to use platform for building, testing, deploying the applications. So along with the hardware, the operating system is also ready. The platform is ready. Right? You need not worry about the hardware. Anyhow, you will not worry about the hardware since it is on top of IaaS. You also need not worry about the operating system. A system is readily made for you. You have to just install the software and start using it. You need not worry about the operating system as well. So again, in that example of the car which I was talking about, in the infrastructure as a service, we were given some parts, hardware parts were given to us. Wheels were given to us, engine was given to us, body parts were given to us. We have assembled ourselves. Whereas in platform as a service, we are given an assembled machine. Assembling they have done. Okay, engine is installed, wheels, everything are connected, a car structure is assembled. You need not do that. So it is better than the previous one, right? You only have to do some painting and some customization and you can start using it. You have to do a little change, little works in that, right? So in IaaS, in infrastructure as a service, we were given only the hardware parts. We have to assemble it. In platform, the assembled part is given to us. They are doing that as assembly and they are giving to us. We have to do small customization and start using it, right? So service provider manages server, storage and runtime environments. Everything they will take care of, right? We have to focus only on the application logic. So you have to write the code and build software applications. Software is also, software installation is also done. Right. So platform as a service, the runtime environment, the database, operating system, everything is readily made. We have to write the code and deploy. Right. So our focus will be only on developing the application. Everything is taken care by the cloud provider. Okay. So advantages: simple and convenient, no infrastructure management required. You need not worry about hardware. Right. You pay only for the resources you use. Full life cycle support. It helps in building, testing, deploying and updating the application. All the services are provided by the platform as a service module, right? Higher efficiency, reduces development complexity and time. As a developer, you are not spending time on installing some software, making up some setting, you are not worrying about that. Everything is taken care, right? Again, like other services, here also we have drawback. Limited infrastructure control. Since infrastructure is also taken care by the provider, you do not have any control over the infrastructure. And the most important part is provider dependency, right? So availability and the reliability features depends on the vendor. Which vendor is supporting this? It depends on that particular provider. Okay. So some examples are AWS Elastic Beanstalk, Google App Engine, right? Azure App Service, Salesforce platform. All these are examples of platform as a service, where you just have to install you have just write the code and build applications. Okay. So the key components include runtime environment, middleware, operating system, development tools and frameworks, IDE, everything is readily available for you. You just have to write the code and build the application. This is about platform as a service. And the third one is software as a service, right? So it's a cloud computing model in which the software applications are delivered over the internet and accessed through the web browser, right? Eliminating the need of local installation, maintenance and updates. Here in the third part, right, the whole car is ready for you to use directly. You need not do assembly, you need not do customization, you need not do painting. A ready-made car is given to you. Okay, so in software as a service, software applications are designed there. The ready to use software applications are given to us. You need not worry about the application, building application, infrastructure, operating system, nothing. Everything is readily available as a service. You have to give your input and get the output. That's it. You need not build the application. This is the third type, software as a service. So what are the benefits here again? Cost effective, because you are paying only for the services what you are using. You are not spending much time on, you are not paying for all that you are using, right? You are paying only for the one what you are using for. Then quick deployment. You need not do any installation, configuration, nothing. Application is ready, right? You are not at all thinking about deployment of a software application, because its application is readily available. Highly accessible, data can be accessed from any device with internet. Automatic updates, the software updates we need not worry about, provider will take care. And the final one is scalable, resources and features can be adjusted on demand. Number of instances you want to increase can be done by the provider, right? But again, as usual, few drawbacks: limited customization. That software application is built by somebody, you cannot customize that. It's already a readily available service. We cannot touch it. We cannot make any changes to that, right? And internet dependency, since these are software applications which can be accessed over the internet, you should have a stable internet connection. Only then you can access the service. Okay, so these are the services which are available in the cloud. So the best example of software as a service is Google Docs. See, you can use documents, create, edit, add some content, delete without installing the document, what we say, Microsoft Doc software. It's already readily available to us. Other examples could be Zoom, Canva. So video calling or online meetings, we use Zoom. It's a readily available software service. You're just creating account and using it. You're not designing it, right? So this is an example. The components could be application, data and APIs. Okay, so only the application part, the data part, the API part comes into picture of software as a service. If you see the holistic view of these things, right? So on-site means somebody who is not using cloud, everything we have to take care of. From networking, storage, server, virtualization, the OS, middleware, runtime, data and applications, everything we have to take care, right? If you see infrastructure as a service, see the hardware part, the infrastructure part, that is virtualization, server, storage and networking, everything is taken care by the provider. You have to worry about OS, middleware, applications and data, this part. Whereas in second one, platform as a service, see, even the OS, middleware is taken care by them. Only application and data you are taking care of. You are writing, you are building the application, you are writing code and building the application. Whereas in third category, software as a service, everything is taken care by the provider. You are just using it and getting the benefits, right? So this is one important slide which talks about the differences between three different cloud delivery, service delivery models: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service and software as a service. Whereas in on-site or on-premise, we have to take care of whole things, right? Some other differences and comparison between these three. Okay, so software as a service, it is used for cloud computing software development, right? Whereas platform, it is used for application development. Here you are developing some software, here you are using for application development, and you can use it for any cloud computing development, right? Any users can use these services. Okay, here application developers can use it, and here architects will be using this IaaS, because they have to deal about infrastructure and all that facilities, right. So SaaS gives access to any software that you want to use, whereas platform gives you only the necessary tools for developing the softwares, and here you get only the virtual machines, right. Then if you want to use SaaS, you need not have to be a technical expert, because you are just a user of a software application. You need not know how is that application built, what is the background story of that, you need not know. Whereas in platform as a service, since you will be building application, you should have proper knowledge of developing the applications. And in infrastructure, you need to have full technical knowledge, because you will be given only the hardware. You should know how to install the operating system, how to do the software installation and all, building the application, whole thing you should know, right. So these are the few differences. Cost, if you see, the cost of using SaaS is very minimum. This is also low, whereas infrastructure is the highest, because they are giving you hardware as a service. So you will have to pay a lot of money here, right. Again, popularity, most consumers and businesses focus this, whereas this PaaS are used for developers, and IaaS is mostly used by researchers and again developers, right. Just a few overview of understanding these three service delivery models. Okay. And finally, along with these three, there are few more service delivery models, right. So the one is container as a service, additional one, and the second one is function as a service. So you see where it falls actually. This is on premise, this is IaaS, second one. Third one, you see container as a service. If you see the difference here, in platform as a service, runtime, OS and hardware is taken care by the provider. Only application code and other configurations you are doing there, right. If you remember about containers, right, in container the runtime, required libraries, everything we will have to take care of. Only the OS plus the hardware is taken care by the provider. So that's why we call it as container as a service, container as a service. And the other type is function as a service. Okay, so in function as a service, I think you might have explored about compute services in both the platforms, AWS and Azure, right. I say this is the serverless platform, right. So you are not worrying. If you see software as a service, if the complete software application is built, right. So in function as a service, application code you are writing, scaling it is taken care. Scaling is not there in platform as a service, right. So additionally, your scaling you are taking care of, application code you are building it. Okay, in function as a service, we are writing functions. We are the one who is writing the functions, but the scaling of that functions is taken care by the provider. We are not worried about it. That's why it's serverless computing, right. So again, there are everything as a service. Somebody calls it as XaaS, right. Somebody calls as BaaS. These are all different flavors of people writing a lot of research papers and proposing new things, right. But the standard cloud service delivery models, there are only three, right. So those are infrastructure as a service, platform as a service and software as a service. Okay, very important concept and very popularly asked interview question. Even in our class discussions, when I was reading about experiences, some of them got this question: can you explain about IaaS, PaaS and SaaS? What are the differences between three? Right. So this is about cloud service delivery models. Thank you.